You know, when a community works together, and get more positive results. Yeah, I'm walking through a mall and I'm like, man, maybe if I could walk through a mall like I'm walking through the mind of God, It's like, man, how do you guard your thoughts, It's like, I don't know. You ever walk through a mall? My grandmother died, and I told my dad, don't worry, she's up there in heaven looking down through the holes of the floors of heaven, I says, well, I'm walking through this mall, I can't figure out. I was like, man, they got a couple leaks in the ceiling, I think about this Bible, it's got a book in a Bible. It's talking about the repair of the church. So it says, it's not the repair of the building, it's the repair of the people. And it says, well, we don't want that hate money, We don't want that hate money, People think, well, it's just about the money. And we're like, no, it's more than the money. God doesn't want that hate money, when it's just about the money. He says, well, how can I build a mall that's more than money? He says, well, people walk through this mall and they see all these trash cans, And I see this water just dripping down, filling up buckets, like a bucket list from God saying, we got to wash all the trash clean, So how can we do that with a mall, if it's just a bunch of fashion shows or jewelry, So what if you could have a jewelry store, some fashion, and maybe some, barber shop. And man, if you really got to chase down that one person that's special, we got to have one of those sports shops with tennis shoes, I tell you, you got all these holidays, but did you ever have a holiday, like once a year? You have like a big holiday, and then they could walk through a mall to remember that holiday all of the year long, We tried that once, with Christmas. We're like, hey, we got a Christmas story, and then here's this kid, didn't have anything, so they brought gifts from all over the place. And it's like, man, every year everybody has Christmas. It talks about Jesus. Here's some presents, and then it became a corporate thing. The corporations were like, man, that's a great idea. Let's get everybody to give each other gifts, Then we got Shop with a Cop. Hey, man, those people don't have anything. Hey, let's see if we can get them to think about it's more than money. It's more than a gift and a wrapped present. Maybe it's about family, So every year, people go through a mall and they just every day they go through a mall. And it's like, well, what do those corporations do? Just do you have any idea how much money was invested in the last 2 years to try and get people to remember, hey, let's reach out and touch someone, It's like, man, what do you mean? My grandmother, Joyce Smith, worked for A.A.A. as an operator. Said, hey, let your fingers do the walking through the phone book of life, Go out there and reach out and touch somebody's heart today, and make them feel like they're important. Well, the phone book didn't work, so we made computers now. They had keyboards. They figured maybe if we get that one key phrase with that one key letter, maybe we'll make a United States Postal Service. How can we build up a mall to build up people's lives? It says maybe, somebody put a somebody put a lighthouse right here. It didn't cost a lot of money, and it says we need change, more than money. We need a light, a guiding light to help people, walk through life, with better family values. I'm like, man, faith and family values. This is, well, somebody makes a promise, man, and they mean to keep it. It's like, man, we would go make an adventure, Hey, can you prove it? It's just, well, if we could get this mall built up, to something great, to make an impact on people's lives. So like maybe we'll put an Impact Church there, and in the middle of the mall we'll put like a lighthouse to get the attention of people and saying, man, we need more here than just music, fashion clothes, and haircuts, and a restaurant food court. I see a Radio Shack down there. It's been closed for a while, you know. How do we get them interested in science, you know, and technical stuff without a electronics store, you know? You know, if technology can help with health, then how do we get them to understand that without a health food store? So somebody open up a health food store over there, you know? I'll tell you, you know, if you want to go on an adventure, you know, it's like, man, it's like how many people took those checks that they got in the mail, you know, and say, we got a stimulus check, man. And then, hey, did some of those people work together? It's like, hey, did I get my $1,200 check with that other $1,200 check person, that other $1,200 check? Now, how many people put their money together and really invested in something, you know? Well, you know, growing up, my dad said, when there's a will, there's a way. And said, you know, well, how can they understand that, you know, get interested in history without any kind of artifacts or souvenirs, you know? Maybe if I get something, you know, like the Romans, you know, used to have these competitions, artifacts, you know, history is health food for the mind, and health food stores like nutritional food and nutritional substances that help the mind react, you know, with the environment. If you don't eat healthy and you don't have history, then how are you going to know that God wrote a will for everybody thousands of years ago and they named that guy like Jesus Christ? And he says, man, who wants to argue over religion? You start walking around in the mall and you're like, man, you look around and you're like, well, you know, I got some empty spaces in here. I've got plenty of room, but I need some people to invest more than money. So much that they even put a JSO sheriff station, like a substation, to help with the mall security. He says, look, it's safe here. We got the sheriff's department, we got mall security, we got the citizens, we got the community working together. And it's like, how can we get a mall to build up something for a community to give them hope for the future? Then one crazy guy said, hold on, I'll be right back.